So we're recording. It is Sunday, October 9th, and this is our weekly team call. So first, I'm going to go over recognition, and Abby didn't get, you guys can kind of let me know where you're at. I know she's gathering her numbers herself. We just have been, since with her traveling, she kind of just got home, later in the day. But on my side, I'm at Success Club 4 this month already, which is, I'm very super excited about. And then I think that I kind of it was a good screw up, but I have someone who ordered Shakeology, and she ordered the last day of the month in September, which I wasn't hitting Success Club anyways. And it's transferring over. When they get it all figured out, it'll be transferred over to October. So I should be at Success Club 5. Which I know, which would be really nice within the first week and a half of the month, because last month was really hard. So I am at 4 right now. And then Erica Carlos, she has a coach who's at Success Club 1. And then I have another coach her coach is Katie Miller, which Kaisa, I think you were talking to Katie, right? She's at Success Club 4 already this month too, which is really excited. So I know she has a goal this month to hit Success Club, no matter what. She's really working hard to do that. So that's what we have over on this side of town. What about you, Abby?
Sorry, I'm late. We just got home about an hour ago from the airport, so we're all a little chaotic over here. We've got Kaisa at 2, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Meg is at 2.
Awesome.
Yeah. Emily is at 2, and then Julianne is at 1, and I'm at a big fat 0.
Still early. And you've been traveling like a maniac.
Oh, October is my main travel month for work, so I'm gone at least, I've been gone once a week the last 3 weeks, from home. So, wow. It's a little crazy just because your schedule is so mixed up. And then, Chelsea, I don't know if you can relate to this with little kids, but Caleb is emotion, he'll be fine, and then when I come home it's just attached at the hip and so over the top emotional about everything, and then I'll be he was fine all week, and then when I come home he saves up all the emotions for mom, I think. So
that's just a mom thing.
Yeah, it's exhausting. I'm hiding in my room from him right now, so sweet background. I got the PowerPoint downloaded, Monique.
Okay. So I'll just wrap up, and then you guys can let me know. I'll finish up with the events, and then Abby will get into the recruiting portion of it. But I just kind of wanted to go over, again, I was posting all last week and what my process was and how it really helped me in August have such a big month. And I know the event was a part of that, and that's why I'm doing it again for Core de Force, because I really want to be very strong this month, and I want to set myself up for a very good November. And I don't discount, I really think that that Beachbody is very deliberate when they put out these new programs. So they know that August and September are very slow months. So they put a new program out, giving us the opportunity to really ramp up business. And then as it goes into November and December, again, it's very slow months because people are trying to save money, but it's something else, something new to get them excited about. So when we take advantage of those big opportunities, it's a really good thing to do. Otherwise, you're really just kind of setting yourself up for a double loss. You know what I mean? Because it's hard once the big excitement has gone on about a new program. It's really hard to get people excited about it again because everybody's talking about it. Once it comes out. So I hadn't done that before. I didn't take advantage of it. I've been a coach over a year, a little over a year and a half, or almost a year and a half, and I didn't. When they came out with 22-minute hardcore, I didn't listen to Melanie, and she said the same thing, create an event, get the demand going for it, get people excited about it. And I wasn't excited about it. And I was like, nah, I'm not excited about that thing. I didn't do anything with it, and I didn't help myself at all, right? It was kind of a struggle month that month, honestly. I think that was in April or May or something, right, Abby?
Yeah, it was. And I did, and it was great. And then Chelsea freaking, you should win prizes for your transformation from that program. Seriously. You're the queen of the 22-minute hardcore transformation. I'm so proud of you. You're amazing.
So for me, it helped me with the Country Heat, and then it's already generating interest, and I've really only posted 3 times in my event for Core de Force. but people were still, even yesterday, liking that. I posted one transformation so far, and I'm only pulling it off of that page. And I know you guys saw the tips that I put in there, like don't like the pages that Beachbody creates, because then you're kind of driving your traffic over there, and then they have all the info. So you really kind of want to hoard that to yourself so that your audience doesn't, people are lazy. They're not going to go seek out this stuff. They're going to wait for you, the authority on this stuff, to tell them like, this is how amazing it is. So, I recommend when we know a new program's coming out, like start your event the month prior, at least 2 weeks, that's like cutting it short. But if you can start at least 3 to 4 weeks prior to the launch, I think that's the best, because it really keeps the momentum going. And you really only have to post in there once a day. I don't do anything more than once a day. And then you invite people. I invite people who I know specifically would be interested in it. I share the event on my page occasionally. And then people always see when you post in that event. So it's almost like in people's news feeds, when they see that you're posting on your own personal page, they also see when you're posting in an event. And so that's how all the traffic was driven over there. And random people who I didn't even invite started clicking interested or going to it. So that's why you give yourself a good lead time to collect other people on there, aside from like your regular warm market that you're always working for some program, right? And then at that point, I kind of go in live a couple times, like, post there'll be another on October 24th. There's going to be another free workout. So that's something you could start talking about on your page too. I recorded myself doing the whole thing. So I'm cutting it up into pieces. That way I can post a couple of my own workouts on there in the actual event. So, I'm chopping it up into little like 2 or 3 minute segments or whatever, so people can see that. So it's a huge help. And not only that, your event is there forever. So even though you can't extend the lifespan of it anymore, Facebook cut that off. You can't like extend it like, month over month over month. You can keep posting in there and people will still keep seeing you post in there, which is pretty cool. So does anybody have questions on that, or need any help with?
I'll just say with the event piece, you might have already said this, Monique, but I had a really great launch of Country Heat, and I actually really like the program now. I was not excited about it, but I don't think anybody could tell. And I even did, I would post about it periodically on my page. And then one day I was just like, I'm going to go live at noon. So I posted it at 9 a.m, like, hey, I'm going to pop on here live at 12 o'clock to talk all about what the heck this Country Heat program is. Nobody liked that post. I had 200 people on live watching me, which was really crazy. And I literally just walked through what I knew the points of the program was. So I talked about I love country music, so how fun this is going to be. It's going to and I actually pulled my containers out. I'm like, you're going to get these really great containers. And, from what I've heard of the program, it's something that any level can do. And I literally just walked through all of the kind of the talking points of it, but that almost helped people because they'd been seeing me post about it, but hearing me talk about it really, really helped. So I went live there and then I shared that video in my actual event, and that helped too. And then one thing I would say also is Hammer and Chisel came out about this time last year, and I love that program. Sometimes I think Core de Force might fall closer into this category than Country Heat. It can be a little intimidating for people. And so oftentimes I found that people will watch you do the program first, and they'll kind of wait and see as you're talking it up through your results halfway through. So I learned the hard way from Hammer and Chisel, and I blogged about it every week, and I posted my before and afters. But with Country Heat, I decided that every day, I don't know why I did this, I was going to do a live video check-in after my workout every day and talk about the workout. And people loved it. And I would make it sometimes really funny about how I was hiding from Ben because they didn't want him to see my dance moves, or I don't know, something maybe a little more motivational. But I think that as you document your own journey in a program, even if people aren't buying it when it launches, they're going to be intrigued because they've been hearing you talk it up. So it's worth keeping the momentum going and trying it for yourself. You might have already said that.
I didn't, but another tip, just to go off of that also, is when Country Heat came out, I also kind of branded it for myself. So I just took a whole bunch of pictures, 5 or 7 pictures. I just Googled country pictures, a girl in the country, or a picture of,
I did that too. A really good job.
Yeah, they did a really good job on that. And then she, posted a quote over it that had I was taking quotes from the actual music that was on there, that was on the playlist for Country Heat, and I made that into a quote over the thing. So I would post that in the event as well. And Core de Force kind of has the same thing. And you can pull pictures of yourself, like, just doing really cool punch moves, or
This is my fight song.
yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like, quarter force, and just put quarter force on it, and just put that in your event. And that's just giving people another like version of it. Like, okay, this girl is really badass. Like, she could totally do this. The other thing is too, on there, I was looking through the transformations that they had. And I don't know if you guys have gone through the Beachbody Core de Force page, but the first one I posted, and it's already gotten like 20 likes on it. I only posted it in the event page, and then I shared it onto my personal page. But it was a woman who's like 52 years old, and her transformation, she has like a 150-day transformation of doing this program, and she looks amazing, like amazing. And she says in her little like thing, like her quote, it's like, I'm 52 years old, I'm a single mom, and I work full time. Like, she says, breaks it all down. And all I put was like, what's your excuse? You know what I mean? Like, she's 52 and she's a single mom and obviously has kids, and she's doing this program. It's not that bad, right? Like, it's not as like hardcore as we kind of are making it seem to be. So I think just if we kind of change our mind onto how we're going to market it, and not just like, oh my gosh, you're going to be such a badass, but really it can transform any body, anybody, no matter what their situation is. So I'm looking for more transformations like that, where they're relatable and it will get people's attention, and not just like it looks, like weight loss or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
So does anyone have questions on events, or was that helpful that we like posted those tips this week? Okay, cool. We just want to make sure that we get
I was like in vacation mode / work mode. So
that's why there's two of us.
Yeah. Man.
Okay, so I think Abby's ready to roll on recruiting, which is exciting. I'm just going to go pop in real quick, because it's a really, really good time to tell you this before we start tomorrow. And we're doing it twice this month. We tried it out and we didn't really tell you guys last month because we were like guinea pigging it ourselves. But I think we have a really good script for it and a really good format. And I like the way it flows, and we're changing it up again this week. But this week, tomorrow, if you have anybody that's interested in coaching, anyone at all, or if you talk to someone tonight, even potentially interested, what we're doing for 5 days, it's like, it's called the coaching or experience coaching. And every day we're giving them a task to do. So they're going to post, they're going to sign up for BOD on like Monday or whatever. We're supposed to be doing it over the weekend, but we're running short again. So Monday, tomorrow is day 1, and they'll sign up for BOD and create a free account, right? And then Tuesday, they're going to do a workout and post a sweaty selfie on their own personal page. And then Wednesday, they're going to like find a motivational quote and do their workout and post a sweaty selfie. So it's like incrementally building them and having them do coaching tasks, but not everything. It's just taking a dip in the coaching pool, like sticking their toe in and seeing if they really like it. Like, these are some of the things that we do. And then on Thursday, we're going to actually go live in there. And that's when we'll do our like, sneak peek type of thing, where we answer more questions and see how they're feeling about it. And, kind of just give them the overview of like, you make so much commission, and, there are a few other things, like anybody can do it. Just briefly go over those points. So it's kind of like a different way to do a sneak peek, and kind of giving them a taste of what we actually do. So that our point in doing this is finding people who really want to do the work, not just people who think like, oh, it sounds really great, or that's how we're losing coaches and discount coaches, or once people realize that there actually is work involved, then they're like, oh, I don't know if this is really for me, so why not show them up front that there is a little bit of work involved. It's not as bad as you think, but there is still some work involved. And then those ones that are for it will keep going. And then the thing is, we're going to leave them in that group. So every month, we're doing it twice this month though. So every month though, they'll see the same, maybe it'll spark their interest next month or whatever. So you're welcome to add them to this group. We'll post the link after the call. But going into that, this will help you, Abby's presentation on recruiting. So when you're talking to people and letting them know about this group and what it's about, that way you guys know what that group is about and what they can expect in that group.
And did you already mention that the Dream Team call tomorrow is about Core de Force?
No.
Okay, so I'll post the link in the page, but if you guys want to jump in on the Dream Team call, I can never be on them live, but they're Monday nights and they're awesome. The call tomorrow night is all about launching Core de Force, and Melanie's actually bringing Joel from the Joel and Jericho who created the program on. So those ones are always great because when the creators on the program, they can really break down even unique things of like how it would compare to other programs or other turbo kick classes or anything like that. So if this is a program that you're going to be interested in talking up, I would really recommend, if you can't be on that call live, at least going back and listening to it, because when you can actually get a creator on the call, that's honestly one of the perks of being on this team, is that Melanie gets like the top people on. So it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And actually she did the same thing with Country Heat, and she brought Autumn on, and like having that, you can actually ask the creator questions. Like, what about this? Like people were asking that, like, what about a nursing mom? What about like any question you could possibly think of, you can ask, and the creator, Joel tomorrow, will answer everything. Melanie will just go down the list. Like, who has questions? What do we got?
Yeah.
So it's really, really awesome because you can be super specific.
Yep. So I will post this PowerPoint in the file section on this page, because I think it's something that for me, I like to go back and reference things, especially if they're on a slide. So don't feel like you have to take notes or screenshot everything unless you want to. But when I was in Destin, this girl on the dream team, her name is Jen Guthrie, and she is a coach, in Melanie's downline. She's not one of Melanie's personally sponsored coaches, but she's gone from starting to 5-star diamond pretty quickly. I know that not everybody's goal is advancing, but I do think, at least for me, and I think Monique too, it took a while to catch on to how to talk about the business. It was so easy to talk about my personal transformation and the health part, but it's a little bit more nerve-wracking to have a business. And I think she just broke it down so beautifully. And so I literally have her PowerPoint that I'm going to share with you. So clearly this is not me on the pictures, you'll see, but it's Jen. And so I'll share it with you guys. And okay, can you guys see that? There's to be like a funny girl, the big dog. Can you guys see that picture? Yes. Okay. Okay. So I will just go from the beginning here. So Jen, that's her and her husband. There you go. She's a teacher, blah, blah, blah. So she really talked about recruiting and being a mindset of, first of all, don't be afraid of it. And we talk about this a lot, but you want to fake it till you make it. And so it really starts, and I think this is honestly in anything in life and even in fitness, is it's your own mindset of, if you're in a really negative headspace, you're going to stay there. If you're not, you're not going to be, because people, like, your vibe attracts your tribe. And so common thoughts that we put down is like, I don't deserve to be here. I'm not a strong leader, not confident. What if they don't want to do it? And go be like, you do deserve to be there. Yes, you are a leader. We grow in that. We grow as we start to move forward. I'm not confident. We'll do some personal development and you will be confident. Like, that's why it's pushed so much, is that developing of yourself. And what if they don't want to join you? Some people won't. Some people will. Who cares? What's next? And it's one of those mindsets of like, if you get it in your head, the worst thing that somebody can do is say no. And that's really not that bad, right? Like, I think we have so much, and I know I do too, struggle with like, oh my gosh, will they judge me? Well, if you're being authentic and yourself, people aren't going to judge you, and they're not going to be offended that you offered them an opportunity. And this opportunity isn't for everybody, and that's okay, but you don't want to prejudge. So that first part is really about you and your mindset of just kind of getting it in your head that you are awesome and you deserve to be awesome and you deserve to go after your goals if this is one of them. And then the recruiting is a mindset. And she said that she literally will like repeat these mantras to herself before she sits down to invite. And it would be like, it's fun to invite. And she was like, I literally have to like be in this mindset to do it. I can't, if I've had a bad day at work, I can't just go online and instantly invite somebody because it's going to come out. You're good at it, right? You're a coach, right? You're good. You're offering them a huge gift. There's nothing negative about this opportunity. At the very end of the day, if all they get out of it is some awesome new friends and a discount on their Shakeology, that's really not a bad deal. So you're not offering them anything terrible. You are a top coach. Again, in their mind, they don't know any different. Unless you're a part of Beachbody or you've done like crazy extensive research, they don't know you from anybody else. They don't know what ranks mean. In someone's mind, you are the expert and you're their contact. People can't wait to hear from you. She said she would literally sit at her computer and like hype herself up and be like, oh my gosh, she's going to be so excited to hear from me right now. Like, wait till I hit send. They can't wait. And so she'd literally like have to hype herself up like that. There's no wrong way. There's no right way. It has to be your voice. You can't just copy someone else. Sometimes you can send them a long message. Sometimes it can be really short. Like, don't get hung up in the process because there's the paralysis of analysis, right? Sometimes you just have to do it. And then people need this in their lives. this is a really amazing company. There's really positive things happening. And even if you just, again, are a coach to have a discount and have some extra support in your life, those are really good things. And I think all we need to do is turn on the debates or watch the news and realize the world is kind of depressing and scary right now. So this is just a cool company to be a part of. And so again, having that really positive mindset of like, they're going to be so excited to get my message. Like, they can't wait to hear from me. And if you are positive and so excited about this, and that's coming through in your posts and in your messages, people can somehow sense it. Like, I totally believe, I don't know how, that people can sense almost your energy level in a message. Like, I feel like when I'm sending invites to challenge groups or whatever, and I'm like pumped, people are more responsive. I don't know if you guys feel like that, but I think it's totally a mindset. This is your party and nobody's coming if you don't invite them. I remember someone telling me once that inviting to anything is almost like you've been posting all the time about your kid's birthday party, and you've been posting pictures of the decorations you bought and the cake you're going to buy and all this stuff, and everyone's like, oh, that's so cute. Nobody's going to come if you actually extend the invitation. Again, it's not a bad thing to invite them to. And it makes people feel good when you tell them that you believe in them and that they would make a great candidate, because maybe it's someone who honestly never felt like they were. Maybe they'd never been told that they're good at something. And so even if they say no right now, or it's a no forever, just having shared that positivity forward and given value into someone's life. And at the end of the day, that's what this is about, is adding value to people. It's not a selfish thing. It's about sharing a gift and paying it forward, not just in health and fitness, but really in helping develop people to be stronger women, to be stronger wives, stronger moms, like all of those things. And so as you extend a coaching invite, you're telling them like, I think you're amazing. I would love to have you be a part of my team. Like, that's a huge deal to invite somebody to. And so again, they may say no right now. It may not, they may come around, but just it's happy. It's a good thing. So 3 ways that you can recruit from would be recruiting from challenge groups, recruiting from social media messages, recruiting from sneak peeks, and discount coaches. And Monique and I have done all of these things. And it's a gift that you're sharing. So recruiting from challenge groups is where most people, I think, get most of their coaches, where you've started them with a challenger and they've gotten great results. And then you approach them about maybe the coaching opportunity as a discount, or, hey, you're already adding value in this page. Like, I love that you're commenting on everybody's posts. Have you ever thought that, so I always identify potential challengers as people, or potential coaches as people who are really, really active in challenge groups, because those are people who are already getting it. They've kind of like drank the Kool-Aid and they're really already doing what you're doing. So it's a perfect setup. Identify potential coaches. You can talk to them and tell them why you should coach. So she literally put her script here. Hey friend, I'm so glad you're loving your challenge group. Since you're loving your Shakeco, I wanted to offer you a discount. There's a one-time $40 fee, but I'll get it refunded ASAP. So basically it's free, and you get Shakeology way cheaper and discounted shipping. If you've ever heard Jen talk, this is literally how she talks. She has this big old Southern accent. And so you want it to obviously make it sound like you. If you don't go way, then don't say that. But you can make it, you don't have to send them like a 20-page breakdown of all the FAQs. You can literally say like, hey, thank you so much. I love how you're adding value in the group. Have you ever thought of doing what I do? And then if they say yes, be like, boom. If they say no, offer them a coach discount, because again, you're still doing them a favor. Make them feel special, and bam, active coach in your downline. And you never know, those people may convert into coaches down the line. Is that all? You guys have questions on this so far? It should be really straightforward. And then these are actual messages, and I'll share this with you guys so you can see it better. But these are recruiting from challenge group messages, and you can see some of them are really, really short. Like, she's not writing super long things. So she had sent something really positive. This girl says, thank you for your constant encouragement. I'm loving the way I'm feeling. I'm so happy that you're happy. And then she said, so I don't think I'm being a crazy person, but you should totally be a coach. That's all. And the girl goes, I've been thinking about it. I'm totally leaning towards yes. And she's like, great, let's come chat. And then she starts asking questions about the time. Or, hey, you're crushing your challenge group, and I'm so proud of you. I'm dying to ask, have you ever considered coaching? Again, really short, really sweet, really to the point. You don't want to assume what questions they have or what concerns they have until they bring those to you. And that's something that I personally have a problem with, because I am very much a context person. So I love to give all the information up front, and realizing like, just send them the invite of like, hey, you're amazing. Have you ever thought of coaching on my team? And they may be like, yes, I love it. Or, hey, I do have questions, and then going to it from there. I don't know. It's really helpful for me to sometimes see things broken down. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. The benefits of recruiting, and this is something that they talked about a lot actually in Destin when we had corporate come down, is talking about, even if you have, and I think Meg is the only coach that I have who kind of signed up before ever doing a program, but it's really great if you can actually be a challenger first, because then you get it. You get how it works, you get what products work, you just kind of see, and you've had the personal transformation for yourself, or even if you didn't have a massive transformation of weight loss or something like that, you know the kind of culture that you can create from a group, and you start out more passionate, and so they stick longer. And you get to help them fall in love with the process, and then they just get it. Then there's public and private recruiting. Now, Jen's story, for those of you guys, if you haven't heard her, she's spoken on a call or two before. She signed up as a coach before doing a program at all, because she heard about the business and wanted to put her husband through graduate school. So these are ways of dropping kind of sneak peeks in there. And there's a call that Bonnie Engel did a while ago where she talked about how every day she tries to just dribble coaching into her posts and have her public posts address private messages. So if she's getting a lot of concerns about time management, she might do a post about how she fits in a power hour or however, or, I have 15 minutes a day, so I'm just responding to my messengers or things like that. So this was Jen's post when she did her post about paying for her husband. Her husband graduated from graduate school and how coaching really helped them with it. So it was dribbled in. And I can't remember if she puts it in here. She may say this later on, I can't remember, but basically she said that she thinks every day in her post, how can I turn this into a message about coaching? So she said she'd be like, I could post a picture of my dinner that I made, because we always like to post food posts, and then would be like, oh, you know what? I could say, I love helping create meal plans as a coach for my challengers and my customers in my group. Here's my dinner tonight. So it's not a join my team for a sneak peek into coaching. It's just throwing out there, as a coach, I get to create meal plans. So people are both getting, one, this is what you do as a coach, and two, if I'm in one of her groups, she's going to give me all her recipes. That's awesome. So if you kind of think like, and that's actually helped me a lot since I came back from Destin. I don't do it with every post because I think that would be obnoxious. Some things there's like obviously no tie into coaching at all. But if you can just think like, as you're posting daily, what can I dribble back into this where that word coach, she's like, I'll just even hashtag coach life on stuff, where people will just start to get it, and it's kind of osmosis where they just absorb that. So yeah, how can you dribble the word coach into any post that you do, or almost any post that you do? Public and private recruiting. So there's actually some examples of these things, but make a list of 25 things you love about coaching and then post about those things. Handle objections in your public posts, like we talked about. Relate to who you were before you became a coach. Now, this is really important. This is something actually Monique and I were talking about, and we're going to talk about more, I think, in the next week or so. But you want to attract your ideal customer, which ideally should be someone like you. So you can't talk to everybody. So you want to talk, like I want to talk to Abby. Monique wants to talk to Monique. So you need to think of like, what words would have been trigger words for me 6 months ago? Like what things would have gravitated my attention or my heart? And how can I speak to that specific person? And I think Meg, like you had a great thing with this with like the rodeo queen thing. Like, you know your niche. Isa, you have a really specific niche. Like you guys can really dial into that. And so don't worry about trying to attract all of the working moms out there. You might get some along the way, but like you speak to you, and that's going to really go well. Oh, she did put this. Before you click post, think, how can I add the word coaching into this? Repeat yourself. You're adding new people every day. Also, not all your friends see all your posts. So if you had a really awesome post 2 months ago, put a new picture on it and reuse it. Nobody, I guarantee, will notice. Like, reword it a little bit. Get over the fear. It's not as big of a deal as we think. Tell them why you want them on your team. Again, going back to that affirmation of like, everybody wants to be told they're valued and everybody wants to be a part of a community. And tell them the truth about objections that you had of like, yeah, I was really concerned that I'd be too busy, but here's how I've made it work for me. It's not all sunshine and roses, and we know that, and you can be positive about that still, but still be real of like, yeah, it is work. We want them to know it's work. Like, You don't want a coach who thinks they're going to come in and make $1 billion in their second week. Like, that's not the type of person you want on your team. So being honest with them about what it is like. And those are where some of those sneak peeks can really be helpful. Here's some lists of things that she created that she loves about coaching: community, friends, income for date nights. She adopts dogs. She bought a vacuum. These kinds of things are really, really helpful because I don't think any of you guys have made $1 million from coaching yet. So you can't post about vacations, really, nor should you be. But you could talk about that you are paying off debt. You could talk about you bought a new vacuum. You can talk about how you have friends that you hang out with on a Sunday night now virtually. Like, there's little things that you can dribble in there, and these can help you have post ideas when you're not sure, gosh, I need to post about coaching, but I don't know how. You can go back to that list of things that you love about it and then just make a post about that. These are the most common, and I would agree with her, of objections you get as price, Shakeology, do programs work, I don't have time, is it a pyramid scheme, I don't want to sell to my family and friends. So again, those are objections that you can either directly address in messages, but oftentimes just put in your posts. I personally have never sold anything to my family, which is also funny to me. So, this is a great post. She said this one got a ton of feedback, and it was that real life perspective. So this is her directly dealing with objections of someone said, I'm not put together all the time. So then she did a whole post about how she's not put together. Again, this was real to her. So if you're getting something, like if you see a lot of her pictures, she always has really cute makeup on, or her hair's all done. So she's like, no, okay, this is the real Jen. I want people to see that. So I did a post a while ago that got a ton of likes on how I was really struggling to get up and work out in the morning, because I wanted people to know I wasn't like the Energizer Bunny all day, every day. So like those real, like where they're like, oh, she's not just this crazy person. Like, there's some realness behind her. Again, this would be private recruiting. So she said that every single person who likes any post of hers that has anything about coaching in it, she will send this message to. Hey, I saw that you liked my post about coaching. Thanks for the love. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? And she said she literally sends this to everybody who likes any post that she's ever put about coaching. Or I just want to pop in and say thank you for the love on my page. I appreciate it, and get that started. So again, it doesn't have to be this long thought out thing. And I started doing this, and that's been helpful. I haven't actually got anybody on the hook yet, but I have a lot of conversations going from this little format there. Sneak peeks. This is what Monique and I do. So this is what we do on our team, where we have those live events, which is awesome. So I don't need to go through that. Then we've talked about discount coaches. So we really encourage you guys to get to Emerald, which a bunch of you are, by signing up discount coaches. And I think it's really helpful. You want to do that because then when you get to Emerald, you can shout out your coaches, and it gives you something, again, to talk about how your team is growing and how your coaches are doing well. It's all about faking it till you make it. Be you. Again, this is her, again, saying Coach Live. She's using her face mask and listening to Luke Bryan, because this was basically an ad for Country Heat. So she said she was talking about Luke Bryan of country music, making meal plans for challengers, #Coach Life. So again, an example of a real life post. And yeah, don't overcomplicate it. The worst case scenario, they end up with a rocking body and decide coaching isn't for them. Super basic, super straightforward. But I think it really is that mindset piece of really just deciding, like, this is a gift. I don't want to pre-assume that someone doesn't want it. And so if they're liking my post about coaching, I'm just going to say, hey, thanks for the love. Have you thought about doing what I do? And that gives them a chance to say, oh no, what is it that you do? Or, hey, thank you so much for thinking of me. But I guarantee it that when you drop a seed in somebody's mind, that you have affirmed them and encouraged them and added value, they are going to pay more attention to what you're posting. And they like when people make them feel good. So when I have people on my mind for coaching, or I've sent invites to, I always make sure that I'm extra active on liking things they're posting or commenting on their pictures. So kind of like they know that I'm watching them, and then just feel extra affirmed. And that helps too a little bit. So.
Yeah. And I think also, I mean, aside from them, if they say no, the worst thing you did was give them something positive to think about themselves. Like, you've poured positivity into their life. And like Abby said, like, they might not be getting that a lot from anywhere else, but you told them you believe in them. They could do something more with their life. So even if they said no, they have that now positive thought in their mind, which is really cool.
Yeah. So that was not rocket science. It wasn't anything, but I think a lot of times we can overcomplicate this business. And it's not that complicated of a business. It's not that complicated of a product. Like, we are in the business of helping people. and offering a gift and letting people decide if they want to take it or not. So I think honestly going back to basics and just seeing some examples of like a literal script of like, hey, thanks for liking this. That sometimes is just really helpful, even though I guarantee you could have come up with that on your own. Half the battle is sitting there waiting to hit send and just stressing out about it. So instead just be like, okay, great. I'll post this post up, and then anybody who likes it, boom, 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 boom. There you go. So
I totally just did that at the beginning of the month. That's how I got all these conversations started too. It's really cool.
it totally works.
Yeah. Well, we have 2.5 minutes left. Does anyone have questions? No? You guys feel like that was helpful? It's always, I think I agree. Like, it's always helpful to see it, even though it's stuff that we know, but to see that like another successful coach does exactly the same things that we know we should be doing and it's working. To me, that's super helpful just to see, just to know. It's like validating kind of.
Just take it back to basics. And I think as you hone your voice and your niche, and you'll get better with that. And there's some challenge groups like that will be amazing and people will be super active and you're like, I can get 1 million coaches out of this because everyone's loving their life. And there's others that are just duds. I'm like,
that was the other thing. Now that you said that, before we end, I'm just going to let you guys know that Abby and I are teaming up for the next challenge group on the 17th. And we're going to kind of flow this whole pumpkin exercise thing into it and like just end the month really fun with like fall and Halloween kind of stuff. So if you had a couple challengers or, challengers that you've signed up, we really want it to be like a committed group of people who are going to participate and kind of get that fun and activity back into it. So if you guys have people that you wanted to join in with us, you're more than welcome to that too.
Yes. Also, Meg, congrats. I just got an email today that you're month 2 success starter. So you need 1 more month and you get your free ticket, girl.
I know.
Oh my gosh. That's
I got an email too. And
So proud of you.
so I'm at 2, and then I have, I think 2 people, maybe 3 interested in my next group.
Yay, girl. That's awesome.
You know what? Now that you said that, I have one more recognition that I totally forgot to. Erica Carlos hit Success Club 5 All-Star. So she's been Success Club 5 for a year, which is rad. I know. So exciting. You guys are totally on your way too.
Yay.
Excited for a good
Spending Sunday night with us, guys.
Yes, thank you. Let us know if you need anything.
Thank you.
All right.